Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the 2023 Genesis G70. It is finished in Unini white and it is equipped with the Prestige Sport package. So let me go ahead and show you all the features this Genesis G70 has. Under the hood there is a 2.0 turbocharged inline-4. It is connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine produces 252 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy numbers are 20 in the city, 28 highway and 23 combined. Here is the MSRP sticker of this 2023 Genesis G70. If you guys are interested in the standard features it has, just go ahead and pause the video. It does have the Sport Prestige package, and the price with destination is $47,390. If you guys are curious about the color is called Unini white, and it does look very nice and sharp on this Genesis G70. This one is the 2.0 and it does have the Sport Prestige package, and that Sport Prestige package is definitely worth the price, $4,200. And I love the way how the front looks like. I love the dual headlight housing or the split design, and everything right here in the front is LED, and that's expected from a luxury brand. I love the way how the grid looks like. It is finished in gloss black and the surrounding is finished in dark chrome. Here is a sensor for the emergency braking. Genesis logo looks good. I love the lines on the hood, and there is front parking sensors. There is a bottom grille. It is functional, and right here there is a side curtain to let air out for better aerodynamics. And yeah, overall I personally think the front end of this Genesis G70 looks good. I love the gloss black rims, the gloss black grille, and I love the gloss black roof. And there's this beautiful massive panoramic sunroof. This is part of the Prestige package. But let's go ahead and move to the side and I'll show you the side view of this Genesis G70. Here is the side view of this Genesis G70. The side view looks amazing, and again guys, this Unini white just looks honestly amazing on this sedan. The Genesis G70 competes against the Acura TLX, and it does compete against the 3 Series, the C-Class, and the Audi A4. Yeah, overall I personally think the side view of this Genesis G70 looks amazing. I love this nice sharp line right on top of the door handles, and there's a functional vent. It is finished in gloss black. And by the way, this G70 has staggered design, so basically the back is wider than the front. The size of the front rims are 225 40 19, and the back is 255 35 19. So there's a little bit more rubber in the front, and that's good of course for potholes and things like that. And all the window trims are finished in blacked out chrome, and on the mirror there is a blind spot monitoring system and a turn signal indicator, and on the roof there is this beautiful panoramic sunroof. The car looks amazing when it's open, and yeah, overall I personally love the way how this G70 looks like. But let's go ahead and move to the back and I'll show you the back view of this Genesis G70. Here is the back of this beautiful sedan, and honestly it looks amazing from the back. I personally think the back looks better than the front, and the side view actually looks pretty good. I love the sharp lines on the side, but the front looks a little bit on the softer side. I really wish that it was a little bit more aggressive. The tail lights have the same design as the front, so basically they mimic the headlights. Everything back here is LED, and that's expected from a luxury brand. All-wheel drive badge is all the way to the right, finished in chrome. Genesis is written back here, nice and big, and G70 is all the way to the left. All the badges are finished in chrome. Right on top of the camera there is a button to open the trunk, and the trunk overall looks nice and aggressive, almost has that built-in spoiler to it. And there is parking sensors back here. Reflectors have a nice design to them, and I love the design on the side. And this lower section is finished in gray. Does look like it's finished in black, but it is finished in gray. By the way, the reverse lights are located all the way in the bottom. They are LED. There is this beautiful chrome trim, nice and thin, and it does look good. But having exhaust tips on the right just makes the back of this car looks a little bit weird. I know this is the 2.0 turbo, but still I feel like having exhaust on the left and right would be a little bit better. And the exhaust tips are connect to the exhaust pipe. There's dual exhaust tips back here. But yeah, overall I personally think the back of this Genesis G70 looks amazing. Here's a key of this 2023 Genesis G70. It does look good, has a really nice weight to it, a little bit on the bigger side, but honestly feels amazing in hand. and feels very high quality. and that's should be expected from every single luxury brand. Anyways, there's 6 buttons on this key: lock, unlock, trunk release, a light button, remote start, and a panic button. Let's go ahead and open the trunk. There is 3 different ways to open the trunk. There's one on the key, one on the trunk, and one inside. And as you guys saw, the trunk opened all the way up by itself. It's not powered, but it does open all the way up by itself, which is nice. And inside there is an alright space. The floor itself, it's very high. The opening is nice and big, but overall it's a small trunk. And right here on the right there is a little bit of storage place. Let me go ahead and show you what's underneath. There is a spare tire. Let's see if I could open the other side. There's a spare tire back here, which is good for a luxury brand, and the jack and the jack tools are in the center. There is a little bit of storage around this spare tire, and honestly, not a big fan of this trunk because it is small. Here is the front door panel of the sedan, and this top portion right here is nice and soft. The door handle feels a little bit on the lighter side, but it is finished in brushed aluminum, but it does feel solid overall. Here's a tweeter. I love this trim. Memory seats, does have the Lexicon sound system. This is part of the Sport Prestige package, and by the way, it does have the Sandstorm gray interior, so this is finished in gray / white. This is nice and soft. This is soft. All the window switches, mirror controls, everything looks good. Everything is finished in brushed aluminum, and all windows are automatic up and down. Here is the speaker. This is plastic in the bottom, and there's a reflector right here, and in the bottom there's a decent amount of space, and the seats are nice and comfortable, good amount of support, and overall the design looks good. And as you guys see, you could actually control the passenger seat from those controls right there, and of course the driver's seat is powered for 47,000, lumbar support. And let's go ahead and move inside this Genesis G70, and I'll show you how it looks like from the inside. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2023 Genesis G70. Does look right from the inside. I definitely love the way how the 3 Series, the Mercedes-Benz, and the TLX look like from the inside. So the G70 is a little bit behind, but I personally think that 3.3 twin turbocharged V6 drives better than all of them. So handling and sound and everything basically sounds much better in the 3.3. This one is the 2.0 4-cylinder, and yeah, overall looks right from the inside. The outside looks definitely better than the inside. Steering wheel is wrapped in leather, a little bit on the thin side, and the steering wheel design looks pretty good. There is a good amount of brushed aluminum. Here is the Genesis logo, does look good. And right here on the left there is the volume controls, voice command, phone controls, and on the right there is the safety features. There is the adaptive cruise control, the steering assist, and you could set the distance between you and the car in front of you, so you could have few car gap distance between you and the car in front of you. This button right here will control that 8-inch screen. So there's 2 8-inch screens. There's this one on the right, and then there is this 8-inch, and this 8-inch screen is definitely behind the other cars like the 3 Series, the C-Class, and the TLX. And the gauges look right. They do have like an older design to them. Not a big fan of that, and I just don't like the fact that the right is a screen and the left is analog. Anyways, on the left there is the headlight controls with the turn signal controls, and on the right there is the wiper controls, and here is the engine start stop. Paddle shifters feel very nice and solid, and overall I think the steering wheel has a nice design to it. Right here on the left, air vents look good. I love the brushed aluminum. You could block the air by moving this to the bottom, and there's this tan. It is nice and soft. Right here there's a brightness control, fuel door release, which is definitely on the older side. A lot of cars don't have a button to open the door, the fuel door. And then there is the trunk release button. This steering wheel is powered, which is good. And here is the 8-inch screen. It is a little bit on the smaller side, but the design overall looks pretty good, and does have that tablet style screen. By the way guys, this right here is nice and soft, so this whole top section is nice and soft. This right here is nice and soft. I love the black stitching. And for the screen, it is nice and responsive. I love Genesis system. I personally think it does look good. And of course, this G70 has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And here is a backup camera. Backup camera resolution is actually not too bad. There is a down view and a normal view. And yeah, the quality of the camera is not too bad. Air vents look right, and they do feel nice and solid. Here is the engine start stop. I love the gloss black. Brushed aluminum looks amazing. And here is the emergency light button. When you click on it or when you activate it, it does actually flash, which is nice. And there's some shortcuts for the screen. So let's say if you want to go to navigation, you click on map. That will take you straight to the built-in navigation. And here is a volume knob, tune knob, and I love the brushed aluminum. Climate controls are a little bit on the older side, so they do feel a little bit big. I'm not a big fan of the design overall. There's heated steering wheel, cold seats, heated seats, and yeah, the climate controls just don't look that good in my opinion. And there's front, rear mode. Here's the fan speed, sync, and you could click on climate. This will take you to the climate control menu. And down here there is a 12 volt, one USB, and a wireless phone charger. And the wireless phone charger is actually part of the Sport Prestige package. Here is the shifter that will control the 8-speed automatic transmission. Click the button on the left, move it to the front for reverse, move it to the back for drive, slightly to the front for neutral, and here is the park button. Just click that button, that will put the car in park. Drive mode button, or wheel. There is Eco, Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, and Custom. And cup holders are nice and big, and I love the brushed aluminum. Right here there is a few buttons: traction control, a button to turn on the camera, brake hold, parking sensors, and the e-brake. I love this trim. The door panels have the same exact trim. And the armrest is definitely hard. I really wish it was soft. I love the black stitching. Inside there is an okay space with one USB. And here is the rear view mirror. It's a little bit on the bulky side, not a big fan of that. There's a good amount of buttons underneath it. So there is the Genesis Assistant, I think, SOS, garage controls. The mirror is very bulky, not a big fan of that. Glasses holder, LED lights, which is expected. This button right here will keep the lights off when the doors are open. Individual buttons to turn on just the left or right. And here is the visor. Visor actually feels nice and soft, so it is very soft, but the visor itself feels very light. I'm not a big fan of that. There is a very good size mirror. Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, they do such a great job with the mirrors. They're nice and big, and there's an LED light, which is nice. Completely forgot to mention, but there is actually a sunroof. So with this Sport Prestige package, you do get this wide panoramic sunroof, and that definitely brings in a lot of light. This is the max it opens, and it's a little bit on the slower side, but this car looks amazing when the sunroof is open from the outside. This right here is soft and does feel good. So yeah, overall I really like this Genesis G70, but I think Genesis needs to update the interior of this G70. Here is a back door panel. The back door panel has the same design as the front, and this top portion right here is actually nice and soft. I love this trim. There is some brushed aluminum right here, and door handle feels nice and solid. Actually feels a little bit heavier than the front, which I like. Here is a tweeter, speaker in the bottom. This is nice and soft, just like the front. Again, guys, I like this brushed aluminum. Here is the window switch, and barely any storage place in the bottom of this door. Here is a reflector, and back seats are actually not spacious, so there is barely any legroom, and that's honestly on all the competitors. So the 3 Series, the C-Class, the TLX, all of them have a very little legroom. Here is the headroom. Headroom is not as bad as the legroom. And by the way, I do have that seat, the driver's seat, set to a position where I'm comfortable at. This is wrapped in leather. I really wish it was a little bit softer. Two cup holders, nice and big. And by the way, there is 2 air vents back here, 1 USB. You could control this seat with those controls. So of course that's good. And that's how the front of this Genesis G70 looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2023 Genesis G70. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and see Moody here at Genesis of Milford. And if you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, please like and subscribe because it does help a lot. And as always, I'll see you next time.